every so often I like to stop and take a look at a life event or scenario, little small situation or interaction that might, one, prove some insight or input into trying to understand how I think, but two, hopefully, maybe show some sign of progress or benefit from the work being put in. And one of those came up yesterday. Small, like I said, simple thing, but impactful for me. So it was last night, kind of after dinner, and it was me, my wife, and my son, and we were getting ready to watch some TV, before bed. And I had a big thing of strawberries, but ones that I had to kind of clean and cut and kind of go through that whole process, not the pre-washed ones you can get at the supermarket. So I went through that whole process, and they were really good, really fresh strawberries. So I was going through that, and I was just about done, and I had kind of put one dish already on the table that my wife and my son were eating. And my wife picked one up to have a strawberry, and she dropped it on the floor. And my initial reaction, before I could even kind of gather myself and see what was going on, was like anger. Right away, there was anger. I felt, almost a groove that was that was pre-paved that I could have stepped right into. Almost I was already stepping into it. I had to stop myself from going, right? It wasn't an active thing. It was happening. The active thing was to stop it, to where I kind of flip out, right? Maybe yell at my wife, "Hey, what the hell? What's your problem?" Be annoyed. Why you can't believe you're wasting strawberries? This whole thing. Now again, I kind of stopped myself, but I observed it. Like I saw it. I saw the path, and I kind of saw where my mind was starting to fire in terms of what's the story it's telling me as to why this is the right decision. All right, the calculation's being run, and my mind wants me to go to, yes, get mad, get angry. What's the math behind that? What's the logic? What's coming? What's creating that output? And I started to realize things that you would expect, right? Like, well, that's annoying, all right? I'm here, I'm cleaning these, right? It took me a long time to clean them, and now they're being wasted. Plus, they're really good strawberries, right? So they're good ones. It's even more of a hurt because there's one now wasted on the floor. And it was nothing significant. It was nothing serious. It was these little petty things, which were true, right? Which is an important thing, right? It is annoying. It was taking me time to clean those. So if one gets thrown on the floor, that feels like, hey, I'm wasting my time here if you're wasting these. And they were really good strawberries. I did want to eat them. So to lose one, right? Maybe I didn't get as many as I wanted then. These things are annoying, but it's just looking at them in isolation, all you see is that, and you see discomfort. So our subconscious says, well, discomfort bad, release this. Like you're justified. Let it be known you're not happy, and that'll make you feel better. It's not stepping back and looking at the big picture and saying it's such a minuscule little bit of discomfort compared to the overall situation. And when really thinking about it, the discomfort that will come from embarrassing yourself, frankly, in front of your wife and your son, and that's the example you're setting, and yelling, and the guilt you'll eventually feel later, it just pales in comparison. The little bit of discomfort for one strawberry being dropped on the floor. So it was a perfect example of a situation where I could observe that and I could see that. And again, I could see that path. I've seen the movie many a times of me heading down that route and just not thinking very deeply about it and just being into it then, and then maybe into an argument, and then my son's upset. Now the whole night's ruined because the strawberry fell on the floor. And I didn't have the cognitive ability or the mental toughness to kind of stop myself from going the easiest route possible, the route that was kind of pre-grooved. And as I say, and I'll end on this, it wasn't an active thing for me to go there, right, to the bad place. That's where I was going. It was going to happen. The active thing, as I've said so many times, is that first pause, stopping the momentum, stopping the train and saying, wait, let's take a look at this thing for a second and see. And more often than not, it ends up like this, where the math is unbelievably clear that the path you were just about to go down was not the right one.